Be unique.
Yeah, we in here. Say it again.
Be unique.
Hey, are you ready now? Let's go.
Be unique.
Let's start the show.
Be unique.
What is up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of the Be Unique Podcast. Thanks for coming back while you're here. Before we get started, go ahead and press the subscribe button. Go ahead and like, comment, share. Sit down with your friends, your homegirls, and come on back to the Be Unique Podcast. Today, y'all, I have a very, very special person in my life on the couch with me today. She means everything to me. It's my mommy, Tina. Y'all know her as Tina, but I know her as mommy. Hello, mother.
Hello, daughter.
How are you?
Wonderful.
When
That sound like your grandmother.
God, what she say? Blessed. I forgot what she says, but yes, y'all have my mom here today. I know she doesn't look like my mom, but believe me when I say this is my this is my mom. 4 children.
Yes.
If I don't look this good when I'm my mom's age, I just don't know what's going on. So I pray that when I get over 50, that I look like this woman right here, because the genes. Wow, you look good, mom.
Thank you, girl.
So you have to hold, y'all. My mom is at very few words, a woman of very few words, but I got her to come out today to LA to come record with me. I appreciate that, Mom. So don't be nervous. We here. We in the living room. We talking to our friends, our family. So yeah. So we gonna start from the beginning.
Okay.
I was gonna say little mommy, little Tina. How was it growing up? What was it like growing up?
A lot different than what it is now, definitely. Outside a lot. No TV and things of that nature in the house. We was outside. And we was got to be back in the house before the sun went down. So.
But what was you doing outside? You just running around with your friends? Did you have a lot of friends?
No, not really. My grandmother raised me, so we basically were doing chores, gardening and things of that nature, reading the Bible, gardening, popping peas and things of that stuff like that. And pretty much on the porch or in the yard. We really, we took care of business, and being business at that time is like school, homework, or whatnot. And the weekends were, other school like homework, and then like school as far as like what is it called? Choir rehearsal. There you go. Choir rehearsal. Things that have to do with church was on Saturday and Sunday. We were in church all day from Sunday school all the way down to the second service.
Yeah, because they don't have a lot of second services no more, where you have to be at church all day, every day. But I miss the second services sometimes. But I think after the pandemic, that's when everybody was like, we ready to go home after
We're
church.
getting back to it though.
Yeah, we getting back to it. We getting back to it. But for people who don't know, my mom is a twin.
Yes,
She's a twin. They're 11 minutes apart.
Yes, we are.
With my uncle Taiwan. Shout out to Toto.
Hey,
That's my
11
Toto.
minutes.
So what was that like, having a twin? But it's not like y'all identical, so it was just like having a
Well,
brother.
we are not identical. We're fraternal, but when we were younger, we looked a lot alike. So we went to school. We were like the same colors of sweatsuit or whatnot, and he would go to a class. I go to his other class. We wear hats. So we did do that.
Y'all did the matching clothes?
We did that matching clothes and the matching hats. I went to his, some of his classes until the teachers kind of, found out that that's what we were doing. And then he got a little bit taller, so then we couldn't do it anymore. But we did do that.
Y'all should still do that.
No, we
I
can't.
desire
I'm only 5'1" and he's
to
6'2",
see.
so it's not
I
gonna work.
desire to see you guys match. That's what twins
We
do.
was matching last week. I'll send you a picture.
Okay, because I'm like, when was y'all matching? But I couldn't imagine having a twin, just two, even in any form,
Yeah.
whether it's identical or not I just couldn't imagine having another, because you guys have two different personalities.
We do.
So how are you guys alike? So what do you guys like together?
I think what we are like is like as far as parents is concerned, like we are very like into our children and things of that nature. Now grandchildren or whatever, but I think that we are very caring people. Like he's super sensitive. You wouldn't think that he is, but he is. He's like a teddy bear, and then I'm in that thing too. But then if it's a little too much, then you watch out. Same thing for me. So I mean, we're alike in a lot of ways.
Okay. Because my uncle, he first of all, it's crazy because my uncle's daughter looks like my mom. And I look like my uncle. So it's kind of like me and my cousin are similar. Like, we're kind of like twins, but we're just a year apart. So I just think that is crazy because y'all kids came out the opposite.
Yeah, and we got kids that got the same birthday.
Yes, kids with the same birthday, September 20th. I'm not one of those kids, but and we have the tradition, or just like they all have the same middle name.
Yeah, Renee.
So the firstborn, everybody's middle name is Renee.
Renee.
So my cousin, my oldest sister, all of their names are the same, which is cool to me.
Yeah.
So that means that my firstborn, right,
Yes.
has to have the middle name. So we'll see. But so in school and high school, all of that, middle school, what kid were you? Were you the quiet kid, social? I'll be shocked if you say you were social.
I was not social. I was very quiet. I didn't really like socialize with a lot of people. I was very.
Let the people hear you.
Hopefully, they can hear me. Hello, 1, 2. I was very quiet into myself. I really didn't socialize that much until I got into high school, maybe like my senior year. But other than that, I didn't. I went to class and came home, and that was it.
But you had a little bit, like, because you were the cheer captain.
But yeah, but that was later on. That was in high school.
Yeah, but I'm saying, so you had some, like, you was out there. You was.
No, I mean, I first of all, in high school, I did not, because my twin brother was there, so he blocked everything. I didn't even have a boyfriend in high school that attended the same school, first off, because everybody thought that he was either my boyfriend or that something would happen to them if they even tried to date me. So I never
it's kind of like that still to this day. He's very protective.
I never had any type of boyfriend or relationship during high school.
Wow.
And then as far as like being a cheerleader, that was a class. So I did not like PE. So
you went because you didn't.
That's right. I did not like PE. I don't like the little bitty shorts and things of that nature because I didn't show my legs. I didn't show any of that thing. So I
and the cheer
became
skirt is.
Back then they were long though. Nowadays
they like little shorts.
I fit right in.
So. But Toto, he played football?
Football. He did play football.
So you guys still were together in
Absolutely.
some type of way all
Absolutely.
the time because you were on the side and he was on the field.
Absolutely.
That's cool. So what about Uncle Dion? So she has two brothers, her twin and her older brother.
Yeah, but then you forget that I have 2 other siblings.
Oh, yeah.
too.
Yes.
So I have 4 brothers.
Uncle George.
Right, Uncle George and Uncle Tony. I have 4 brothers, 2 from my mother's side of the family, and from my mom, and then 2 from the father's side. So which are all boys. I'm the only girl from the family. So
like how I just don't see
it was rough.
how I just don't see how you can do anything.
I wasn't able to do anything.
Because they were like your dad, your brother,
yes,
all the above.
Yes.
So was that why you were so like not really like social or anything like that? Because you were used to being around guys,
for the most
so you
part,
didn't have a lot of girlfriends or friends like that.
Right. And if I did, then they would be trying to date them, so I kind of liked it.
Well, so what was your first? So take us back to when the first time, because this is Mother's Day. So I hope you're sitting with your mom as well, like I'm sitting with mine. But what was your first experience becoming a mother? What was that like? How old were you?
I was 18, but the experience of being a mom.
Like when you first found out, like that you were having a baby, what were your thoughts? How did you
Um,
feel?
well, I was, young, so I think that the initial finding out that I was pregnant. First of all, I didn't even understand being pregnant. But then when I realized what was going on, back then, like I said, my grandmother raised me, so I kind of like did not really accept it, so to speak, until like I was maybe like 3 or 4 months or whatever. Because then I was just like, okay, so it's it's really happening, like type of thing. But then, hey, I mean, I jumped into it head first and feet on the ground and did what I had to do.
Because Shaniqua, my oldest sister Shaniqua is just like my mom. She's literally like she's our second mom, basically. So, and she's crazy. So, I love you, but she's like our second mom. So I know that she just learns so much from you, especially in that time, because me and her are a couple years apart. So yeah, we're 5 years apart. But she remember how y'all. It's crazy how my mom remember how far apart we are, but she don't remember our birthdays.
No, I don't.
She don't
I
remember our
remember the
names.
birthdays for years.
She don't even remember our names half the time. I know y'all can relate. Black moms, they call you every name except for yours.
And you answer. You answer.
I wait till you get down the line.
The tone, you know who I'm talking to.
Amen. But but so after that, being 18, like I remember when you guys, or when we would talk to your friends, or they would say that Shaniqua was always with you, like
Right.
at I don't know whether at school or just wherever you went, like Shaniqua became like their kid that
Like,
they always hung around.
Well, because then I had like friends in school, so that be like some of my cheerleader friends and things of that nature, that we developed relationships, and so just like now, you have your good girlfriends. So then I had good girlfriends, and to this day I still see them, and we still intertwine in each other's lives, and their kids became our kids, and our kids became theirs. So it's pretty much the same way as girlfriends get together now.
Yeah, which is interesting. And so for someone that probably had a kid early or anything like that, what would you say to them? Because you say you just kind of just got yourself together and just like, oh, I'm gonna do this,
Right.
But how did you get there, or what encouragement could you give to someone that is trying to get there, but they just don't know how to get in that mindset or that space?
Well, I mean, you put yourself, in the space of, you got to push forward for your kid, and not just for your kid, for yourself too, because you want to make sure that it's a productive life for both. So whether it's school or, just finding out how to take care of yourself and your child and be productive, so that they can see that, so that the everything that they do after that would move forward in a positive direction. And of course, you got to put the Lord first, for sure, because without that, it's no way that it can be done.
Yeah, and did you always have your own relationship with Christ, or is it something that just had to? Because you went to church, your parents took you to church, but when did you start being like, okay, I gotta have my own relationship with God for myself, or did that just come naturally for you?
I wouldn't say that it come natural. I think with every trial or tribulation, or good or bad or indifferent, you connect with God some kind of way. And I wouldn't, it's learning experience, and sitting down and understanding the concept of being in the spirit, one knowing God. Another thing is just like sitting down in a quiet space. Remember, my grandmother used to always say, "Go into your prayer closet." I never really understood what that meant until like one time I like really went into the closet, like it's dark in here, but that's another situation. But not necessarily just going into the closet, but just being quiet and being able to listen and hear God speak to you. It's something, I won't say learned, but when you hear God speak to you, or when you know that it's Him that's speaking to you, it's nothing, no other type of experience.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know that.
Yeah, because you passed it down to us. So why was that important for you to make sure that you raised your kids in the same way of going to church and things like that? Like, why was that important to you?
Well, it was instilled in me from my grandmother, and she wasn't one of those to be. Her name was Honey Mitchell. I think people know that name.
Love you, grandma.
So she did. It wasn't like a forced type of situation. And there was other things that she did outside of that, like feeding the community and doing things like that. Like people would actually, when we would pull out to go to church, they would come up and just give her money to put tithes into the church. People that didn't even go to church, whether it be homeless people or whomever, they knew that she was backing that car out and she was going to the church, and she would put all that money in I remember a little brown envelope, and she would pray over that all the way there and put it in. She deposited. So I saw what she deposited, and then it encouraged me to deposit the same thing into whomever came in my life, whether it's my kids and myself for that matter. Like I reflect on the things that she's taught me, and some days it brings me to like not so much of a sad tear, but it brings me to an understanding of, oh, that's what she was talking about. Or it's things that we even, like I try to teach you guys about some of the things that she used to do. You guys might laugh about it, but trust me, it's going to be things that you're going to remember. You're going to tell your kids, and it's generational. So yeah.
Yeah. So how was your relationship with your mom? Because we were talking about your grandmother, which is my great great grandmother.
Yes.
All right, great grandmother, and
It's a lot of greats.
and she passed when we were really
Yeah,
young.
she was 91 when she passed.
Yes.
So she lived a
So
good life.
so I was probably just like a couple. No, like she passed before I was born.
Before, yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't get to meet her, but just from the stories or just from people she used to go to church with and things like that, they definitely have so many memories of her and be like, you look just like your grandma, or your grandma used to always come with her tithes, and that she was very present, like you knew who she was. She definitely wasn't someone that you could ignore or anything like that. Like she made herself known, and I definitely see her spirit still here and with us and through you and Granny and all of us. Even though we didn't get to meet her, we still feel her and we still see her in different ways. So yeah, so how was your relationship with Granny, with your
With
mom?
my mom. Then the younger years, it was how can I say? It was a tough encounters, should I say, growing up. She was young when she had children. So I think that she really didn't know how to parent us, and it was so many of us or whatever, and just trying to learn about with marriage and things of that nature, and the stuff that they had to deal with back then. We didn't understand as a kid, like the things that being a parent and finances, and if you don't have anybody to show you these things, how to deal with it. So the relationship that your grandmother and it wasn't all that great in the beginning, to say the least, but through years of forgiveness, both ways, she found God, and she was able to get herself out of that era that she was in, and then we became very close. Like once I had your older sister Shaniqua, and then when I had you, and her whole life changed. Like when she found God and she stopped smoking, just like everything, it was just like overnight. It was like overnight, and we saw that it was overnight. And it wasn't like a traumatic thing like with death and nothing like that. It was just that God came into her life and he spoke to her, and it was like overnight. Like I kid you not, like I think when you guys asked her about smoking, and she put it down the next day and never picked it back up. So when God works, he works. And he worked it out, and when she found God, that was it.
Yeah, because when we even still to this day, because I've never seen my grandma even close to smoking or anything. So when we hear stuff like that, we like, wow. But also, I do, as I get older now, I do see that when we were younger to now, the difference in our relationships with our parents. Like, so do you think as you got older, that's why you were able to do that forgiving and see her in a different light, or be open to like moving forward and everything like that, because you started to understand her a little bit more as you got older?
Definitely began to understand her, and just life. Sometimes just change is so dramatic. It's a change, and it can change a person to where you don't even recognize them. Um, but the older I got, and then when I started having children, I started saying I don't want this and I don't want that. It allowed us to mingle better, or like I said, with the forgiveness part of it. Um, um, it's not like she, did nothing like traumatic to me as far as like all the harsh things and beating and all that stuff. It wasn't that. It was just some of the things as a kid I didn't understand, as far as I want this, I want that, or or why you not here, and why is this person. We kind of like lean towards, oh, I'm this way because of my mom, or I'm this way because of my father. But we have to learn how to forgive and move forward, and that's what I always try to do with you guys, is try to teach you about forgiveness, about moving forward, and how I know it's not an easy thing to do, but it's something necessary. God forgives us, so how can we not forgive people for the things that they do?
Seeing their relationship today, my mom and my grandma, you would never know that it was not, that you guys weren't as close as you guys are
Right.
now, because they are like this. They're like this. Like, well, I think you and her have that relationship. One, because you her only daughter. One, and so you're like the more sensitive, her soft side. And then she have her boys where they still there, they still protective, but I don't know. I just think that moms have a soft spot for their daughters because they see themselves in you.
No matter what, you only have one.
Yep, you only have one. You only have one. And I think that that's why when me and you went through that little patch of trying to understand each other better, that's really was what I was thinking about. I'm like, I only have one mom.
It's growing.
Yeah, I'm like, you only have one mom. So I encourage anybody who is in a rough spot, or not even in a rough spot, just communicate with your parents. Talk to them. They're people just like you. They make mistakes just like you, and allow them that space to get understanding with you. Because I think a lot of times people hold grudges, or they think that their parents are supposed to be perfect, that they're not supposed, or they hold them to whatever, not counting out anyone's experience, but just I think that people hold whatever their parents do while growing up sometimes and carry it forever, or carry it so long to where they don't know how to forgive, or they don't know how to reopen that relationship with their parents. But no, you only get one set of parents, and even if you don't have whatever connection you have, or whatever parental person you have in your life, communicate with them and talk to them. And I'm sure they'll understand. Hopefully you understand. Or can you speak to that as a parent?
Well, like I said, it's growing pain. So whether it's your parents with the child, young adults, even adulting can be difficult at times.
Yes, I'm understanding.
Even adulting can be difficult at times, but I think just from a parent standpoint, it's not that we're trying to be all in your business or anything of that nature, or just telling you what to do, married, not married, with your children or not, whatnot. Is that we don't want you to experience anything that we've gone through that's not positive, or either we've gone through something and then we want to teach you something different to handle it a different way. So sometimes it may come off a little bit, but it's because we don't want you to knock your head hard. And then sometimes we want you to knock your head, hit that head, but come on back, So, yeah.
Yes. So, because being adulting now is just a no for me. I just can't do it. Bills, everything. Like, your parents tell you about that stuff all growing up, or save your money because this and that. Because when you get out, you're not gonna be able to save that money. It's gonna be difficult. But
Yes, it is.
I'm learning that now. Well, I'm not gonna say I'm learning it now, but I'm feeling it now because now I'm thinking of like, man, if I can just go back to when they were allowing me to save my money, I would definitely save my money because everything is just so expensive. And like you said, the world that you guys grew up in is totally
Totally different.
different now. I think even people raising kids in the world that we are in right now and back then is like
Right.
a little different.
It
Can you
is.
see that?
Oh, definitely. Now it's gentle parenting. I think that's what they call it.
Yeah, it's just too bad.
It's nothing wrong with gentle parenting, but you just can't be so gentle.
Yeah, some you just gotta snatch them up just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
You know, just snatch them up just a little bit. They'll understand. You know, I understand today, but yes. So I'm happy that you guys got that together. So being married, and then you went into nursing school
Right.
while we were young. I can't remember exactly how old I was when you were in school, but I know it was definitely like at the end of probably elementary while I was in middle school. So what made you want to go into the nursing field?
Well, for the most part, I always was in somewhere in there. Like I for some reason, I was told or thought that you have to start from the bottom and work your way up. So I kind of did that. Like I did phlebotomy. Not saying it's the bottom, but I did the phlebotomy, CNA. I thought I had to do these steps to get up to a certain level of nursing, not knowing I can do it in high school and then come out of high school with a nursing license. So I did have to I did all the different steps to get there. But as far as the reason why, I remember when I was younger, I thought I wanted to be a police officer actually, and because my grandma always told me it's three things: you're gonna need a police officer, you're gonna need a mechanic, and you're gonna need a nurse or a doctor. So I started with police officer, and they were like, "Oh no, you got family that you're probably gonna have to lock up," so I had to leave that alone. And then a mechanic, I just couldn't do it. But as far as like nursing aspect, I've always been into taking care of people, trying to see the like, I don't want to say the bad thing, but like if someone is hurt, I like to see the growth, the progress to get them on their feet. So that's what pushes me to keep going with that.
Yes, because she's still nursing to this day.
I am.
Was it like 20 years?
I have been a nurse for 30 years, but I've been working in my current profession at Kaiser for 26 years.
26 years. Like, she doesn't even look like she's been working for 26 years. It's crazy to me. But at that time, when you were in nursing school, you were married at the time, and you had four of us. So what was that like? How?
It was rough. It was rough. Back then, you didn't have to go away, like go to the different schools or whatever. I would go to work for 8 hours, and when I get off, I would clock off for like 30 minutes, give me something to eat, and go down to the basement and go to class for 4 hours. And then after that, come home.
Yep, and still had to deal with.
Oh yeah, Sunday I made 3 or 4 meals so that you guys would have hot meals through the week.
Yeah, it was. Like thinking that today, I just simply don't think I'll be able to do it.
Oh, you
Like
do
just
it.
looking back, like you have to go to work, you have to go to school, you have 4 kids, and you now with me having a husband, I couldn't imagine having all of that not thrown at me, but kind of thrown at me at the same time. So how did you balance? How did you keep yourself together in that time?
I mean, it was hard. It was hard, but it was a choice. Your dad was home for most of the part, like taking care of you guys in the daytime, and I just schooled it. I just made sure that I had to do it. I had to. It's no other way. I mean, it's no other way.
Yeah, no other way. You always just gotta hit the ground running.
Get it running.
Yep. And that's definitely something that you put inside of us, that it doesn't matter the circumstance. You have to just keep moving. You have to just keep going. You can't just stay stagnant in one place for too long, because life still moves and life still goes
That's
on.
right. It waits for no one.
And just growing up, seeing you and Dad we were a lot. So like growing in a house full of all girls, I still pray for my dad as well this day because I was like, man, and we're still loud. We're still or five different personalities under one roof, and then still having to do real life outside of that. I can only imagine. So when I was in middle school, that's when you and dad had told us that you were getting divorced.
Right.
So what was that transition like, or how did you feel after that? Like going from, I believe y'all was married
So we were together for 20 years.
20 years, and then 20 years, 5 children
Right.
together, and then having to tell your kids like you were gonna have to get a divorce. What was that like
I mean,
from your perspective?
from my perspective, I mean, it was tough. It was hard. It was like probably one of the hardest things in my life that I had to do. But we both knew that it had to be done. You know, it was rough. Yeah. I mean, there's no other way to explain
Yeah,
it.
that's what I can only imagine. But I know for us on our end, or I'll just speak for myself. Of course, it was hard at first, but I think at the end of the day, you know your parents, and you just want both of your parents to be happy.
Right.
And I think that from the outside looking in, we can tell that something was like
Right.
going on because we can feel it. We know our parents. We know you guys just like how you know us. So it was hard, but today I think that we're all just happy with seeing you guys, continue life, still love on us, still there for us together, and just being there for us, and always just encouraging us to go start our own lives, and make sure that we're not being dependent on anyone else, and get it for ourselves. Still love on people, still be a loving person, still be nice and everything like that, but still handle business at home as
Right.
well,
Well,
and
the
be there for
divorce,
yourself.
I think the people think that divorce is like an end all, but we didn't go into it that way. We knew that the big D word or whatever was something that him and I had to do, but it didn't stop the charge that God gave on us to take care of our children. We never stopped doing that. And that was something that we understood from the gate that you guys were a top priority then and now. So I don't think that we fell short at that at all. I mean, you guys can tell us anything different, but I think that as we co-parented very well, we currently co-parent very well, and even with our youngest being 21, we still have those parent conversations where we have to do what we got to do, or so forth with college and everything. And I'm actually proud the way that we parented after that. It could have went a whole totally different way.
Yes.
But I think that, like I said, our charge was to make sure that our children did not endure the things that we did when we were younger, to make sure that you guys were productive people and parents. And so that was something that we made sure that we didn't fall short of.
Yeah, because even though that was happening, we still know that our parents love us.
Absolutely.
And that you guys care for us.
Absolutely.
So with all of that, now we're after that, we're past that, we're moving on. You out here, living life, traveling. She traveled more than me, y'all. She every time I see her, she be gone.
I should.
She about to leave right after this. Right
Yes, I
after
am.
this, she's gonna be gone. So what now? So what would you like to do? I think that's something that I think I asked you a while ago. I'm like, I don't think I've ever asked my mom, like, if you can just do anything besides nursing, what would you be doing? You said you would write a book.
Yes, absolutely. I did say write a book, and actually, I am looking into that, currently, and to try to make that move. But the last 2 years of my life kind of stagnated a little, a little bit, and just letting me know that. I don't know. It was just this last 2 years was just very eye-opening.
Yes.
And yeah.
Yes, because I believe it's 2022. Yes. You guys, my mom was diagnosed with multiple myeloma. I always get in the tongue twister saying that. Multiple myeloma, cancer. So that was definitely a transition for us, something that we did not see coming. But yeah, we didn't see it coming. We didn't know how to react. We just wanted to be there for you in that moment. But you can speak more to that. Not how was it, but what did that feel like in that moment?
Whew.
I know that's
It's very actually I'm okay now. Then it was the big C, cancer. Everybody thought that what I did too. Is till death. But being a nurse, you hear about it in all the generalized cancers like breast. Not generalized. I don't want to diminish anyone's history or things that they've gone through in that nature, but I think nationwide you only heard about breast cancer, you only heard about like colon cancer, and never did we hear about like multiple myeloma.
Yeah, I never heard of it before.
Yeah, so when I mean, even being a nurse, you hear about these cancers, but you never hear about these. You see all these different colors of ribbons, and just really didn't know that all these ribbons mean something else. So then when I was diagnosed, and by the grace of God, I was diagnosed 10 years early. So, and that's a whole nother thing that we can talk about.
See how that work?
Oh, he worked. And so when I was diagnosed with it, it was a hit. It made me question and think about like, God, like, those things, like, why me? Like, why did you embark this upon me? Like, help me understand. And then once I got into it, like my hair falling out and the chemo and those things, again, this is another situation where I had to sit down and listen and understand and hear God, get closer with Him. And within that, of course, the tears, the midnight hours, and things of that nature, just preparing myself for it, it was a struggle. And where I leaned on the elders and leaned on the pastor and his wife and those things to help me get through it or help me understand or in reading and trying to get into a place of understanding. And when I had to get to that place of this is what it is, and I just kept hearing that it's not for me, it's for somebody else. And they say you don't look like what you've been through. It's been 2 years. So sometimes I still have those nights to where I feel like what I've been through. I may not look like what I've been through, but but I mean, now where I'm at, it's a place of understanding. So I think that's where that book is coming from. Not so much of being a parent and all the things that we've talked about, but this chapter in my life. I think that's where this book is going to be coming from. Trying to get through the different changes of this part of my life. And so that's where the traveling and things of that nature has come in, because I've lived my life for my children all this time. And then once I was diagnosed with that, it led me to understand that I needed to do something for me, for myself, branch out, do some things, move around, like, go somewhere, do the things there, see some things, smell some things that I haven't smelled before, because like I'm 51 years old and these things I've never done. So now I'm looking to do those things and be in a healthy space to do it. I mean, last year I was taking 15 pills. Now I'm only down to 2.
See, she's gonna make me run around this place.
So,
hallelujah.
Yeah, so it's a blessing to be here in this time to understand where God's anointing is upon my life, and I'm praying that others see it, and I can give back to other people so that they can grow from it too.
Yes, because we definitely grew from it. Listen, like. My mom is like one of the hardest working people that I've ever seen in my life. Like I just still don't know to this day how she does it all. But you do it with so much grace, so much just like she's chill. How she is right now, she is like this all the time. Almost it's like even when I'm Mom, this is like crazy, blah blah blah. She's like, okay, Just wait. She's always just so calm. And I just be like, how are you not falling apart? I'm falling apart. Look, there's the voice again. She always said I'm animated too. When I was growing up, she said, it's always a voice. It's always a different voice. It's always animation. Do you see that personality still here? So it's doing good. So y'all, I'm just so overjoyed. So be looking for the book. Be looking for the book. We don't have a set, and it's gonna be New York bestsellers. We're claiming it right now in the name of Jesus Christ. That it's gonna be everywhere because it's definitely something that everyone should know about, read about, hear about, and we're gonna bring more awareness about it. So as you're sitting here at home with your mom, I hope you hug her tight, because I'm gonna hug mine tight, because we only get one mom, and we don't want to wait till it's a situation where it's their health or that is something just like, just about like we have to like take care of you or anything like that, but we want to be there for our parents, and we want to love on our parents because y'all loved on us no matter what we went through, no matter what we did. So now I see that shift of where you have to be there for your parents. And that has been interesting. Now, I used to call my mom for everything. Now my mom calls me. Before she got here, she called me like 15 times. And I'm like, Mom, please, just get in the building. But she made it here, and I'm so happy. So you have your book, and you did your walk as well. So you're gonna keep doing that.
Absolutely.
Her
Annually.
cancer walk.
Multiple myeloma walk annually.
Yes, so be on the lookout for that as well. You're not really on socials or nothing like that.
No, not really.
So I can't even tell y'all to follow her because she's private. Turn that private off. It's 2024. Let the people follow you. Praise God. Follow you as you follow Christ.
Absolutely.
Amen. I'm working on her, y'all. I'm working on her because all this information just needs to go out to the world. And as her daughter, I'm just so
Help me with it.
happy. I'm helping. I got her on camera, y'all, in front of a mic. You see, she barely down. She on her way down here. So we gotta do baby steps.
Okay.
But I'm so happy that you came today. So again, so you have that, you have the book, so you have all of these things. So I'm excited for people to see a new you.
Right.
And a new version of you, and to hear from
Right.
you, and to hear your voice, because I think it's just very important. I think you have a lot to say. I think that there's a lot to you that a lot of people may not know about you because you're so quiet, but y'all, she have a lot to say. Now, don't do a way to hear my mom, don't do the dishes. Don't pick up your stuff off the floor. If you want to hear my mom, don't do.
Keep this house clean.
'Cause that's the quickest way for you to hear my mom.
Absolutely.
But now you're a grandmother. She's a grandmother too of
Yes.
3.
Yes.
So, y'all, I just think it's just more life to be lived, don't you think?
Absolutely.
So we're just gonna keep living life, loving on our moms. And today, I wanted to give you your flowers because I love you. I think that you deserve your flowers.
Oh,
Yes, I have a
nice.
surprise. She didn't know about this, guys. Happy Mother's Day. I love you. I can't speak too much because I'm going to start crying, but I love you. And you've been through so much. You've taken it all in stride. You've taken it with so much class, so much grace. I learned. I would not be here if it wasn't for you. And that's why I got to stop talking. Because, guys, I love my mom. And if you don't do anything else today, I know Mother's Day was yesterday. This probably filmed after, but love on your mom, not just on Mother's Day, but all the time. And I want you to smell the flowers while you can, and to see them, smell them, get all of them that you can get, because you deserve all things good. You deserve
Oh, that's so sweet.
everything. So I'm going to help you. We going to get this book out. We going to do everything that you want to do, because you were always there for me. So I'm always here for you. And guys, that's another episode. Can you believe you got through it? You got through it. Was it?
sweat.
No, you gotta hold the mic up. Oh, we working on it, y'all. But happy Mother's Day to all the moms
Happy
out
Mother's
there.
Day.
And for mom, you have a message for the mothers out there?
Yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep doing what you're doing, one day at a time. Love on your kids, allow them to love on you. I got my love today.
Yes. See, y'all, and that's why I'm the favorite daughter. See, don't show my sisters. Don't show my sisters. I'm the favorite daughter today. But yes, I get my points for today, y'all. So don't do too much. That's to my sisters. But I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. And I just love you guys. I can't wait to see you guys for the next episode. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share. Follow us on Instagram. Mom, are you gonna unblock your Instagram? Do you want to shout that out? We're still working on it.
It's not blocked. It's 11 minutes.
11 minutes.
Yeah.
Or it's an underscore, right?
The number 11, 11 _MINS.
Yes, on Instagram. I'll post it here just so we can make sure. You know, your mom, you have to make sure that
Everybody wanna know what
I'm gonna go
is
before
for?
I get in trouble. I love you guys. See you next episode.
Bye.
Peace out.
You